Hi everyone, it's Katrina. Number 10. The Aliens of Canyon Rock. Deep in the Colorado Plateau, artists were busy making portraits of their own roughly 9,000 years before Leonardo da Vinci was even born. There are thousands of Native American rock panels scattered throughout the Southwest. But the Barrier Canyon pictographs are believed to be the oldest, with most of them concentrated along what had once been raging rivers. Some of the pictographs were painted as recently as 5,000 years ago, and many of them are even older than that. But what makes these ancient pieces of art so shocking is that they seem to hold a hidden meaning. The artists drew giant humanoid shapes, creatures that kind of resembled humans, but not really. They appear to stand over 8 feet tall, and many of them don't have any arms or legs. But what they do have is massive eyes like oversized insects. Historians have debated with one another over what the Native Americans were trying to depict here for decades. Some experts believe these were fantasy images, painted on the walls for fun with no special meaning at all. Others think the paintings, which happen to be a dark, bloody red color, were created so they would remember the bug-eyed aliens who came down from the sky to give them knowledge. Visual artist David Sucec calls them Utah's first expressionist painters. The most likely theory is that they were used for spiritual or religious purposes. Maybe the figures are supposed to represent gods of some kind. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Number 9. The Last Supper. Dan Brown's novel The Da Vinci Code is a work of fiction and has never pretended to be anything else. Nonetheless, it sparked all kinds of crazy conspiracy theories about the relationship between Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene. In the novel, it's claimed that the figure sitting next to Jesus on his right-hand side in Leonardo da Vinci's painting The Last Supper is in fact Mary, not the disciple John. And even though the book is fiction, Dan Brown wasn't the first person to come up with these ideas. It made these theories more mainstream and inspired art historians and scientists to take a deeper look at the works of Leonardo. The Last Supper was created between 1495 and 1498 during the Italian High Renaissance. It's a depiction of Jesus Christ with his 12 disciples at the final dinner they shared before the betrayal and the crucifixion. Some say Leonardo tried to hide secret truths inside the artwork. One of the theories is that the long-haired disciple next to Jesus is in fact his wife, Mary, whom Jesus loved. There is another interesting aspect here, which is the seating arrangement. In The Last Supper, you'll notice the seating pattern at the table is 3-3-1-3-3. There are 2 groups of 3 disciples, then Jesus, then 2 more groups of 3. Some believe this to be evidence that Leonardo was pointing to Lamentations 3:31-33, which reads, "For no one is cast off from the Lord forever." This could refer to the fact that many scholars say Leonardo was a lover of men, and that he was trying to make a point that God loves everyone, no matter their personal preferences for a partner. Many people believe this painting to be full of hidden clues for all kinds of things. It's just a question of what did Leonardo da Vinci really mean or try to say, if he was trying to leave a secret message at all. Number 8. The Identity of Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper, the notorious murderer who stalked the streets of London in the late 1800s, may have been a painter. Researchers now believe the man's true identity could have been Walter Sickert, a British painter that was born in 1860. Walter began his career as an artist in London and turned 28 years old in 1888. The same year, Jack the Ripper wreaked havoc on the public. In 1907, one of the most gruesome paintings imaginable was discovered, signed by Walter Sickert. It was titled Jack the Ripper's Bedroom, and it was about as creepy as you can imagine. It's a dark canvas picture with a black silhouette and some strangely dim rays of light. It gives off a truly disturbing aura and is exactly what you might expect someone like Jack the Ripper to draw of himself. Of course, one painting isn't enough to put all the blame on Walter. It wasn't until Patricia Cornwell, an American novelist, began her own investigation that some real headway was made. The author reportedly spent millions of dollars investigating Walter's connection to the Ripper killings. She was able to connect the handwriting on Walter's paintings with the handwritten letters Jack the Ripper sent to the press. We can't confirm beyond a reasonable doubt that Walter was Jack the Ripper. However, the clues hidden in his paintings seem to point in that direction. Number 7. The Miracle of the Snow. The Miracle of the Snow was painted by Pietro Perugino between 1472 and 1474. It's currently housed in the collection of Polesden Lacey, an estate in the remote countryside of England that's owned by the National Trust. The painting shows a miracle event that struck Rome in the year 352 AD. Snow mysteriously fell from the sky, blanketing the city of Rome on a hot summer day. It was an event that boggled people at the time, and yet nobody's sure it really happened. The legend of the August snowstorm began to spread in the 13th century, about 1,000 years after it supposedly happened. And now, each year on August 5th, the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore celebrates La Madonna della Neve, which translates to Our Lady of the Snow. The painting of the Mystery Miracle shows Jesus and Mary watching over the incident from inside a cloud. But behind them in the background are what appear to be strange objects shaped like silver discs. Many have dismissed the silver discs as storm clouds, but if you look closely enough, you can see that they don't really look like clouds. They resemble solid objects, like a whole host of disc-shaped spacecraft hovering in the sky above the miracle. Could it be that aliens had something to do with the miraculous snowfall that whitened Rome in the 4th century? Or did the artist really just make his clouds look suspiciously like UFOs? Unfortunately, since the artist is long gone, we may never know for sure.
And now for number 6. But first, it's shout-out time! Big thank you to Stacy Waghorn for supporting this channel. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos like these.
Number 6. Ancient Cave Codes. An internet sleuth has recently made a discovery that's shocking the archaeological community. It also seems to be changing everything we know about the history of written language. Ancient cave paintings, prehistoric pieces of art left behind by our primitive ancestors, may contain secret codes. Apparently, mainstream archaeologists have totally overlooked these codes for centuries. The cave paintings come from all across Europe, and they've been dated to be between 40,000 and 15,000 years old. Oddly enough, they all have the same mysterious code hidden in their images. A series of dots can be found in Paleolithic pictures of mammoths, bull-like creatures, fish, and many other animals. The code looks simple enough. After all, it's just a sequence of dots or thin lines. But according to Ben Bacon, the internet sleuth, there is an obvious correlation here. Primitive people weren't just marking dots for fun. Ben believes these mysterious codes were humanity's first attempts at writing down information. They could already draw pictures of animals, with the world's first artists dating back tens of thousands of years. But it was around 40,000 years ago that they started filling their images with dots, the earliest code in the world. Researchers think these hidden codes may have been an early kind of calendar system. The primitive people might have been tracking the life cycles of particular animals. It also could have been an attempt to count a certain number of kills. Researchers can't say for sure though, since the code was only just discovered. Still, there are naysayers out there that believe the dots are nothing but a clever coincidence. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Number 5. Facets of Liberty. Anthony Quinn starred in some very old movies, the most famous being Lawrence of Arabia. He died in June of 2001, 3 months before the devastating attacks on September 11th. But a shocking new claim says Anthony predicted the event much earlier in a painting that he completed in 1985. According to the late actor's art dealer, Stephen Hart, Anthony was a secret clairvoyant, meaning he had the uncanny ability of predicting things that would happen in the future. He had many visions thanks to his artwork. Hart says his most notorious painting is called Facets of Liberty, an oil canvas showing the Statue of Liberty overlapped with another, much more sinister-looking face. If you look closely, Hart says you can see the whiffs of smoke in the sky and the hint of planes falling toward the tower. Apparently, you can even make out firemen in the painting. During his life, Anthony Quinn never came out to say what he'd seen in his artwork, but Stephen Hart says that's just because he didn't like to speak about fortune-telling business, only occasionally mentioning the art of premonition and his visions. However, Anthony's widow Katherine did say he was afraid before his death. Just before he died, he supposedly said something very awful was about to happen. He said nobody could possibly understand the scale of what was to come. Number 4. The Crucifixion of Christ. In 1350, a fresco of the Crucifixion of Christ was painted on the ceiling of the Visoki Decani Monastery in Serbia. The construction for the monastery began around 1327 at the behest of King Stefan Dianski. Unfortunately, the artist behind the work is unknown. His name was never recorded anywhere, so there's nobody to point fingers at when it comes to these strange theories around this ancient piece of artwork. Out of all the important heritage sites in Serbia, this monastery and its frescoes have come under more scrutiny than any of the others. It's because the fresco appears to show alien visitors watching over the crucifixion of Christ. The suggestion here is that aliens were present at the time Jesus Christ was nailed to the cross. Above Jesus' head on the left and right are what appear to be speeding alien vessels. They look like spaceships with a small man inside of them hurtling through the sky. Most Serbian historians dismiss this as being nothing but the artist's depiction of the sun and the moon. They say whoever painted this wanted to display the heavenly bodies as containing people in order to show how they suffered with the death of Christ. Others say there is no mistaking the metallic-looking objects in the painting, and that they are definitely proof of spaceships. Which side are you on? Let me know in the comments. Number 3. La Bella Principessa. Scientists say they have finally uncovered the mystery of the Mona Lisa smile. British researchers studied a recently discovered portrait created by Leonardo da Vinci called La Bella Principessa. They then compared the techniques used in the two pictures, finally coming to the conclusion that the effect of the Mona Lisa smile was intentional. Leonardo had done it before, somehow mastering what experts call the uncatchable smile. If you're not sure what's so mysterious about the Mona Lisa smile, it's the simple fact that you can't really tell if she's smiling. It's there when you look at it from one angle, but if you move your eyes too fast, the smile suddenly vanishes. She could be grinning one second, and the next she looks kind of sad. This effect was also applied to La Bella Principessa, a portrait of the illegitimate daughter of a duke in Milan. From some angles, the woman appears to be smiling, but from others, her smile fades completely. This portrait was created by Leonardo in 1495 and was recently discovered hiding in a private collection. Researchers confirmed the technique by using volunteers to look at the painting from various distances and angles. They soon realized that depending on the focus of the eye and the viewing distance, the smile changes dramatically. The consensus here is that Leonardo mastered the art of the secret smile, the very thing that has made the Mona Lisa such a priceless portrait. Number 2. The Crouching Woman. Pablo Picasso, the groundbreaking artistic genius who lived between 1881 and 1973, left plenty of secret messages and hidden details in his paintings. Most recently, art historians used X-ray fluorescent imaging instruments to look at the secrets hidden in Picasso's artwork titled The Crouching Woman. This was a major piece of work from his Blue period, and it was completed in 1902. It shows a woman in a cloak crouching down, with the painting saturated in depressing blues, grays, and greens. Researchers were able to uncover subtle changes made by Picasso through the painting process. Not only that, but Picasso also used another painter's work to help finish his own. Picasso took another work of art, rotated it 90 degrees, and then used parts of it for his own composition while covering over the rest with the crouching woman. He apparently incorporated the lines of someone else's cliffs to create the woman's back. This shows amazing artistic skill as well as an obvious disregard for another's work. As of right now, nobody knows who the original artist was who Picasso painted over. Number 1. The Mona Lisa Undressed. Legend has it that Leonardo da Vinci produced an extremely rare version of the Mona Lisa in which she was completely nude. The legend is based on the copies of the Mona Lisa where later artists drew her without any clothes on. The first of many of these renditions was also supposedly painted by Salai, known as Gian Giacomo Caprotti da Oreno. He was one of Leonardo's most promising pupils, and he was only 10 years old when he moved into the painter's household as an assistant. Between 1490 and 1518, Salai watched Leonardo carefully and would have known all of his secrets. When he produced a naked version of the Mona Lisa after the original came out, it led to widespread controversy and rumor. But the controversy has never really ended. The work of art called the Mona Vana was likely created by Leonardo da Vinci prior to the Mona Lisa. It shows a mysterious woman in the nude in almost the exact same position as the Mona Lisa. Art historians at the Louvre in Paris recently completed extensive research to confirm the work was done by da Vinci. They weren't able to conclusively say that it was him 100%, but their results showed that it's highly probable. But here's the thing with the Mona Vana. It's not the Mona Lisa. It shows a different person, a woman with a rather strong bicep. Many believe the model Leonardo used for this particular painting was his young teenage boy apprentice, Salai, who historians say he was almost certainly having a romantic relationship with. As we can see, there was a lot more going on with the Mona Lisa than just a coy smile. Thanks for watching. What's your favorite mysterious work of art? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. See you soon. Bye!